Hi friends, I am back with card number 3, which was part of my February 2018 online stamp club, and the technique this month that I'm featuring is Emboss Resist. And as I've mentioned in the previous 2 videos, it's an old technique that's been around for a long time, but sometimes we forget there's new stampers coming along all the time and maybe they've never seen this. Or if we've been stamping for a while, sometimes we forget about these fun techniques. So the stamp set that I'm using for this month's Stamp Club projects is the Amazing You from Sale-a-bration, and I forgot I actually used it on last month's Stamp Club projects too, so you can tell I'm really loving this stamp set. But this is the image, the stamp, that I used to create this background. So really easy. I'm going to show you how it's done. This is a piece of our watercolor cardstock, and this measures 3 by 4.5. And all I'm going to do is take my embossing buddy and go all over that piece of paper. And I've got my stamp on my block. And I'm inking it up with my first mark. And I'm just stamping it 2 in a row, working my way down. And some of the images are going to overlap. It's hard even for me to see where they're all going. But I can pretty much tell they're going into straight lines. It's just to make a fun background. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to emboss this with white embossing powder. So I'm sprinkling that all over. Okay. And I set that with my heat tool. Okay, so this is all nicely melted. We've got our image on there. And instead of using sponges for this Emboss Resist card like I did on the previous 2, I'm actually going to use my ink pads and my aqua painter. So I wanted to go with sort of a rainbow look. So I'm going to start with my Berry Burst, adding some water to that bit of ink. And I'm just going to draw a line straight across, and you can see how that embossing is coming through. Okay. I'm going to move on to my fresh fig. Adding lots of water to the lid and going back and forth on that one. Now I'm going into my rich razzleberry. Got my Bermuda Bay. You want to blend some of that ink that you used previously into the next color as well. Dapper Denim. Garden Green. Daffodil Delight, and make sure that you're going back and forth on your paper so that you don't add the previous color of ink into the lid of your ink pad. Two more colors to squeeze on here. Pumpkin Pie. And finally, some Real Red. I'm going to add a little bit more pumpkin pie. It's kind of gotten lost in there. There we go. So there's my rainbow. Now I'm taking my paper towel and I'm just wiping off the excess ink again that's sitting on those embossed images. And then I would just set this aside to dry. Isn't that a cool background? Alright, so I already have my bits and pieces cut out from the Celebrate You Thinlit dies. Right now this is free during our Celebration promotion. I have a piece of basic black, and this measures 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. I'm just gluing this piece right on to my basic black. And now I am gluing this onto my vellum cardstock, and this measures 3 1/2 by 5. Like that. So I'm just using Stampin' Dimensionals to go on the back of this. That's going to go on the front of the card. This piece of Designer Series paper is from the Bubbles and Fizz Designer Series paper that you can get for free during Celebration, and this measures 4 by 5 1/4. And this is going to get glued onto my basic black card base. Okay, I'm going to put this onto the front of the card. I am going to add some glue to this. I'm going to take my silicone mat, and I'm just taking my liquid glue and I'm just adding just a couple little dots. This is just how I do it. There might be easier ways out there, but I find that this works for me. Just a couple little dots. You don't need much. Going to get put on the front just like that. So before I put the U on my card, I want to add some shimmer with the clear Wink of Stella. So I'm just going all over that die cut. Can you see that? Oh my gosh, beautiful. Okay. So I'm taking my mini Stampin' Dimensionals and I'm just cutting up the center, and I'm going to take half a dimensional and just kind of put them around that die cut. And there's my card. I really, really love that pretty background with that Emboss Resist, and here's the original one. So I hope you give that a try. There's a lot of different ways of using the Emboss Resist technique. These are just 3 ways that I demonstrated this month, but I hope you enjoy them. Thank you for watching. Happy stamping!